have a question for all of you. Who gets to decide what a color is named? I mean, avocado green, right? Let's think about that. I'm a born and raised Southern California girl. I have my own avocado tree. I know what color avocados are. Who decided that that weird, ugly shade of green from the, what, 60s and 70s? Oh, come on, tell me you don't remember that. That was in that avocado and gold and what, orange? Who decided that that was avocado green? I'm going to tell you right here, right now, I'm going to prove it to you, being here in sunny Southern California, what color avocado green really is. And just for the heck of it, I'm going to show you how to properly cut an avocado. You don't have to peel it. You don't have to do all that stuff. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? No, no. Come on, really. I have two tools here. I have a knife and I have a spoon. And I have my trusty avocado. Now this avocado green, if you look at the skin of a ripe avocado, is almost black. So again, I ask you, who was that person that named avocado green that color? All right, first thing you're going to do is you're going to set your knife into the skin and you're going to go all the way in until you hit the pit. You're going to turn this around and around and around. Basically, all you're doing is running your knife around the pit or the seed in the middle. Then you're done with your knife for a minute. You're going to twist this and look. That avocado green is not the avocado green that you've been told is avocado green. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to slice this and we're going to run our knife against the skin. Yes, it's true. Then all we're going to do is take this and scoop it right out of that skin, and you have, excuse my fingers, a beautiful sliced avocado. Let's take a look at this color, because really it's probably more in this really bright, beautiful color of green. Avocado green is not ugly. Honest to goodness. I have my own tree. Avocado green is not ugly. Next thing you're going to want to know is how do you get the pit out? Okay, this is the only dangerous part of this, so be careful. You're going to thwop it. Yes, that's a term. Thwop it. Roll it out of there. Pull it with your fingers. Again, we're going to slice, slice, slice. Rolling that knife against the inside of the skin, and we're just going to scoop it all out. Make sure you have a big, big spoon. And there you have it. Beautiful sliced avocado. Stitch, come here. You want some avocado? Come on, come, Stitch. Stitch, come. Do you want to eat some avocado? Come on, come over here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here, Stitch, come. Come on. Come here. Come on, all the way up. All the way up. Do you want some avocado? Come on, uppy. Up, up. Welcome to Stitch. So much for the avocado green shenanigans, but I wanted to talk a little bit about color. And putting together a color wheel like this can be really, rather dry sometimes. Shayla Wolf of Sassafras Lane has put together a beautiful, beautiful collection of colors here for us. And I've arranged these in sort of a color wheel organization here. For the project behind me, I used what was called an analogous color scheme. Analogous meaning those were the colors that were adjacent to each other on the color wheel. And I think if you look from these sort of acidy greens all the way into these magentas, you'll see the exact same colors in the background. When you did your first quilt, I'm guessing that you decided that Sam, or whoever it was that you were making that quilt for, really liked a specific color. Sam likes blue. I'm going to get every shade of blue there is. I'm going to get from the lightest blue to the darkest blue because you know you needed value to create the pattern that you were using in your quilt. But you kept it safe and you used a monochromatic color scheme. That is all one color. Analogous color scheme is also a safe bet. So for the demo today, I'm going to press these and get these ready to cut, but we're going to use all of them so you can see a little bit more color in the demo squares that I'm going to make. There's a beautiful set of whites here, And you can see, if I hold these up a little closer, hopefully you can see that, there is some geometric shape that's going on here, and even a little bit of color in those too. She's done a beautiful job. If you're interested in purchasing this for yourself or for your stash, go to windhamfabrics.com and you will find a store locator for each one of the lines of fabrics that they do. So click on that line of fabric, go to the store locator, and find the local quilt shop nearest you. And if you're interested in the pattern Flower Stalls by Beyond the Reef Patterns, there's a link for purchase in the description box as well. Okay, I'm rolling up my sleeves here. I've started cutting these. I'm not going to cut through all of this in front of you, but I wanted to just give you a couple of reminders. First thing is, remember to always cut off your selvage edge. And rather than cutting each piece after you've cut it, cut off your selvage edge first. Make sure that you measure and cut away. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to square this up. So I'm going to come over here to this edge. These are all my fat quarters here. I'm going to look for the underneath here to see how close I can get. We want to use every bit of this beautiful fabric. I'm going to align the top here, and then I'm just going to square this up. The pattern calls for a specific dimension, which we're going to start with here. And because I don't have a ruler that size, I do not have a 9-inch ruler, 9 wide, I'm going to use a 6, and I'm going to line this up here with the 3, making sure that I line everything up directly with the ruler, and then I'm going to cut this. I'm going to make this first cut here. I'm going to move this over for later, and then I'm going to go back to my square edge, and I'm going to cut an 8.5, so that means 6 plus 2.5, right? So I'm going to align this here, put my 6 and my 2.5, and use that. Then I've got a 6.5. I'm going to stack that up over there. I've got a 6.5, so I'm going to use 6.5 of the other ruler here. And again, lining top and bottom with your ruler to make sure that you've got this square. And then we need a 4.5 inch. So I'll cross cut these later on once I'm through going through all of the rest of this stack, and I'll be ready to sew in no time. Don't go anywhere, we're almost there. We're going to make 3 different segments. We're going to make this striped segment, we're going to make this segment, and then we're going to make this third piece, which is right here. So I'm going to sew the background onto this, and then we're going to sew those pieces together. And let's hope the sewing machine will comply. I'm still using leaders, or as I like to call them, headers and footers. It saves on all of that beautiful thread. I'm also going to press this to the color side, not to the background side. And I'm pressing up, and so I've pressed these down. You know what that means. We are going to nestle this bottom seam right here. So I'm going to sew these together, and these 2 pieces will then get sewn to this piece. Remember, you've got your seams nestled here, you've got everything aligned. If you don't think you can hold on to it and sew it without pinning it, go ahead and throw some pins in there. Just remember to remove them as you sew. I always put them on the left side, and sometimes I even put them out of the way of the 1/4 inch seam. In this sort of a project, we're not really using a lot of serious piecing techniques. This is really an achievable project. So I think you can see how the pieces are coming together here. And then this one I sewed backwards. And you know the old saying, never rip a seam when you're still mad at yourself for sewing it that way. So let's try again. Don't tell anybody I did that. Okay. We're going to sew these 2 pieces together. And then it's like a whole do-over, isn't it? Did you guys cringe just a little bit when I grabbed both ends? Anyway, this is then going to get sewn onto this piece. So I think you can see with my portable design wall here, we've got this, and then we've got this. And there's one last piece to sew onto this, and that is this border. I know it goes on this side because we've already got some background on this side. So I'm going to sew this together, and we will have our blocks. There you have it. There's your block. Now can you see it? Here's one. Here's another one. And last but not least, here's a third one. You'll notice something different about the quilt in the back here. You'll notice that some of these I rotated and put upside down. So this is your actual block, but this one was actually done upside down. And that gives it just a little extra interest. And it helps you sort of, if you will, lose that block. That's about all there is to this easy, achievable block. So I'm going to get sewing here. I've got a lot to do. I've cut up a tremendous amount of fabric. And if I decide that this isn't a gift for a friend, then I think it'll be a donation quilt. I'm sure so many of you donate a lot of the projects that you make. And this might just be the case here. So what have we learned? Let's see, we've learned how not to rip a seam, that's for sure. We've learned how to cut an avocado the California way, and we've learned that avocado green really is a beautiful, beautiful color. So from my home to yours, thanks so much for stopping by and visiting us here at Stitch.